Eyes on the board, squad. 5 levels, that's the whole ladder. The bottom of it starts with $500 and a dream. The top of it moves 9 figures. Same market, same charts, same buttons. By the end of this dispatch, you'll know what actually separates the levels and exactly which one you're standing on. Because here's the spoiler. It was never a secret strategy. Every level up is something they stopped doing. 5 levels of a crypto trader. Start the climb. Look at the mountain, squad. 5 camps on it, fresh meat at the gates, scavengers in the wreckage, soldiers on the wall, raid captains in the war room, and up top, the Warlord. 9 figures of quiet. Now hear me straight, because I don't sell dreams. I'm not promising you the citadel. Plenty who read every book never see it. What I'm giving you is the map, where the bodies are buried on every switchback, and the one gate you have to pass to leave each camp. And every gate is the same kind of thing, a mistake you retire, permanently. New to the wasteland, parts 1 and 2 taught you the language in the first trade, links below. This is the graduation course I promised, the mistakes that empty accounts and the rules that don't. As we climb, keep one question loaded, which camp is honestly yours? You'll answer it at the end. Move out. Level 1 is a graveyard with neon lights. Welcome to fresh meat. Everybody starts here, me included. $500, a phone, and the absolute certainty that you're different. You're not. Call it 90% that never leave this camp. Every honest study lands near that number. And they don't die to the market. They die to themselves. Watch the pattern. A coin's already up huge, fresh meat piles in at the top. No stop loss because a stop feels like admitting you could be wrong. Size way too big because small wins feel like a waste of time. That's not trading. That's a slot machine with a chart taped to the front. See that one by the flashing lights? That's the degen. 6 cycles in this wasteland. Still level 1. Still sure the next pump is his pump. He's not a villain, squad. He's a warning with legs. And hear the coldest truth in this camp. By the time you see the pump, you're not early. You are the exit liquidity. Somebody from a higher camp is selling you their bags and tipping the doorman. The gate out of level 1 is carved over the exit, 2 words at a time. Stop chasing. Set the stop. Survive first, everything else comes after. Pass that gate and you're already ahead of most of the wasteland. Level 2. The scavenger camp built out of blown account wreckage, and they know it. A scavenger survives. Barely. They learned the stop loss. They stop chasing, respect. But 2 killers stalk this camp and they hunt as a pair. First, Oversizing. The scavenger wins 3 small ones, feels bulletproof, and bets half the account on number 4. Size has killed more accounts than bad calls ever did. Second, the revenge trade. The stop gets hit and it stings, and 30 seconds later they're back in at double size to make the market give it back. Squad, the market doesn't know it hurt you. The market doesn't know you exist. Revenge is a position with no plan and no exit. That's not a trade. That's a tantrum with leverage on it. The gate out of level 2 has 2 locks. 1. Size like a survivor, small enough that being wrong is boring. 2. Own the wreckage. Every loss goes in the log in ink with what it taught you. Losses are tuition, but only if you log them. Skip the log and you pay the same tuition forever. Level 3 is where most of the climb dies, and not one account up here blew up doing it. The soldiers' camp, look at it. Rules on the wall, a journal on every table, stops set before entries, size that would bore a casino to tears. The soldier does almost everything right. So what kills soldiers? Boredom. The system says wait and nothing happens for 3 days. The chart just sits there. And the soldier starts inventing reasons to click. A setup that's almost there. A small one just to feel the wheel. Overtrading death by 1,000 paper cuts, everyone signed by your own hand. Get this in your bones, more trades is not more chances. More trades is more ways to die. Every click outside the plan is a toll you pay just to feel busy. The gate out of level 3 isn't learned, it's endured. Sit on your hands until the real setup shows. Take it, log it, sit again, days of it, months of it. The boring reps are the level up, there is no other staircase. The wasteland doesn't pay the busy squad, it pays the patient. Most quit right here, 1 camp below where it turns. Quick formation check. If this briefing's keeping you alive out here, hit subscribe and fall in with the Defi Warlords on Telegram. Links below. Back to the climb. At level 4, the question flips. Fresh Meat asks, will this trade win? A raid captain asks, what does losing cost me and what does winning pay? Price the loss before you ever touch the entry. Step into the war room. Nobody in here is excited. Nobody in here is scared. A captain doesn't think in trades, a captain thinks in campaigns. 100 trades at a time. Here's the whole trick in one coin. Imagine a coin that pays you 2 when it lands your way and costs you 1 when it doesn't. Any single flip, that coin might spit in your eye. 1,000 flips, the math grinds out the win. That's edge. The captain hunts setups shaped like that coin and folds everything that isn't. Which is why a raid captain can be wrong nearly half the time and still eat like a king. The losers are small by design. The winners run by design. Being right stopped being the job. Pricing the risk is the job. The gate out of level 4 is cold steel, fixed risk on every raid planned before entry, no exceptions. Not for conviction, not for revenge, not for a sure thing. There are no sure things in this wasteland, only priced ones. 9 figures, and I promise you, squad, it is boring up here. The citadel, the warlord's seat. From up here you can see every camp on the mountain because the warlord passed through all of them and kept the scars. Here's what the thumbnails never show you about this level. No 20-monitor adrenaline. No all-in hero calls. The warlord's day is allocation, how much capital rides, where, and what the maximum damage is if the whole map catches fire. Asymmetric bets only. Small, known downside, large, open upside. And downside protection so obsessive it looks like paranoia. It isn't paranoia. It's how you get to keep a citadel. And the sharpest blade in the armory. The warlord takes losses faster than fresh meat takes profits. No hoping. No arguing with the tape. Wrong. Out. Next. 100 million was never one legendary trade, squad. It's 10,000 boring decisions compounding while the lower camps donate to the mountain. So the real gap between level 1 and level 5 isn't a secret indicator. Level 1 is ruled by feelings and calls it instinct. Level 5 retired every feeling that ever cost money, and what's left just looks like patience with a war chest. You don't need the citadel to win out here, but you need to be climbing. Camp is not a destination. Full debrief. 5 camps, 5 gates, say them with me. Stop chasing, set the stop. Size to survive, log the wreckage. Outweight the boredom, price the loss before the win. Protect the downside forever. One rule over the whole mountain, and it's the only one I'll make you swear. You don't climb by winning more, you climb by dying less. Now sound off in the comments, squad, which level are you standing on? Be honest. The wasteland already knows, and the honest answer is the first gate. Next briefing, how people actually make money in crypto, the part nobody tells you. The quiet math behind the loud screenshots, that's part 4. The full intel lives on the Defi Warlord Forge. That's the briefing, squad. Stay sharp out there. Subscribe, turn bell notifications on. Join our Defi Warlords home base, link in the description. And salute to the squad.